hola, hola, mi gente. Buenas noches y gracias por sintonizar con Aqui Con Kyna. Good night, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And you know who I am. Kyna from Aqui Con Kyna. And tonight we're going to have a very special episode. Every episode is special. But this one, I want to say more special than the last special. Why? Because we zone in on a story that begins right here in Trinidad and Tobago soil and now resides, and I would say even though in the United States, all over the world. And as we all know, wherever a Caribbean person is, they carry their stories, they carry their bacchanal, and they carry their happiness. But in tonight's episode, we need to focus on the good things. As you already know, we are, if you're living in Trinidad and Tobago, we already have a lot of panic, fear, and some facts on the street concerning situations with our neighboring countries, Venezuela, and also tensions between political leaders of other regions, right? We don't want to go into too much detail because tonight we are going to shine some good light through the heavy zones. We are going to shine some good light. Tonight as well, before we introduce our host after our first break, you have an opportunity to win something. And this is something that represents Aqui Con Kyna, and I'm so glad to be collaborating with award-winning author Scarlet Ibis James. And she didn't offer one gift. She didn't offer 2 gifts. She offered 3 gifts, lifetime gifts, right? Because what you're getting, you can read it today, you can give it to your friend, it is something to carry on, right? Stories of love, stories of the Caribbean. We will get more details when we come back. So, grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's take about an hour to focus on some good things tonight, right here on Aqui Con Kyna. Don't go anywhere! No te vayas a ningún lado. Ya regresamos.
Olio, it's time to laugh again, and this time it's going viral. The Mad Company presents #LaughViral.
2 hours later.
2 nights, 1 stage, and non-stop laughter. You know the kind of laugh it does laugh when you can't breathe, tears running down your eye, your belly hurting, your best had walk with an extra belly, cause we're not stopping. And here's the blessing. Every ticket you buy helps us deliver 200 hampers to families in need. So when you laugh, you give back. November 15th and 16th at the Central Bank Auditorium. Doors open at 6 p.m. Showtime is 6:30. Hey, all your tickets flying past. Don't be the one scrolling through Instagram wishing you was there, you know. Be in the room, feel the energy, and be a part of the kindness movement. Get your tickets now for just $200 while stocks last. Grab your tickets now at Island E-Tickets or DM us on social media, or you can call 293-9134. That number again, 293-9134. #LaughViral, where laughter is non-stop and kindness goes viral. #LaughViral. Don't miss it.
Well, tonight our episode is in English, but we will have a little bit of Spanish in between, and in some cases might drop a little bit of French, you never know. Scarlet Ibis James is a Trinidadian-born, New York-based, award-winning author whose emotionally rich Caribbean root stories explore love, identity, and rewriting inherited narratives. Her work bridges islands and city life, inspiring readers to honor their roots while bravely choosing their own path. So, let's dive right in. You get it? Oh, good. No, I'm not joking tonight. But you get it? Right. RIGHTWRITE. Yeah, that was a teacher joke. Anyway, Scarlet, darling, where are you? I invited you. All you have to do is to, let me do it again. Scarlet, invite. Accept the invite, my darling. So we are live on TikTok, and that's where we'll be tuning in with our next guest. Because, you know, we use technology here on Aqui Con Kyna, right? We are inviting her via TikTok. We are also live on Facebook. And tonight you get a chance to win something. You get a chance to win one of 3 prizes. What do you have to do? All you have to do is tell us a good memory. Here. Let's dive. What do you? I'm live. Tell us about a good memory. Share a good memory. Why am I not connecting? I don't know. Oh yes, we're connected now. Okay, we're inside. Musi, let's go.
Wait.
No, wait. Oh yes, we're connected now. Okay, we're inside. Musi, let's go.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh, here I go. Yes.
Nice. So let's
Lord
see
have mercy upon us. May us rest in peace. Sorry.
Let's
you
see
see
your
me?
beautiful face. Are you there? No, your
Yes,
camera's not
I'm
on.
here.
Yes, we're on. Now, Scarlett, it's so refreshing to have this episode at this time because we have our neighboring Caribbean island looking forward. Someone described it as after it passed, it's going to be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And you see, what you, my Puerto Rican, what you have done as a Caribbean woman, capturing the memories that you would have inherited through what we call folklore, passing down of these stories,
Yes.
as well as sitting down with maybe the little tea, the little cocoa tea, the real cocoa tea. Oh gosh. And now you are in the United States, so that's where we're connecting from. You were here in Trinidad and Tobago, and you will be giving us all the details about this. But before we go there, Scarlett, a big question, because as someone I have written a book, but I haven't published it yet. I know when I do, I don't want to use my name, so I would use an alias. I love the name Scarlet Ibis James, but for people who want to know more, we know that is your alias. Do you wish to share your real name with the world?
Oh my God.
I know, I'm famous for doing that. I'm famous for putting people on the spot. It's
So, Kyna, Scarlet Ibis James is my pen name.
Yes.
My friends call me Carlene, who know me.
Right.
Let's say that, Carlene from Sour.
Oh, nice. Yes, well, girl, as a training, we could say sour, right?
Sour.
Yes. So, Carlene, that's the name I was introduced to you as, but I love the name Scarlet Ibis James. And why I love it, and I'm going to allow you to tell us why you chose that name, because that is a national bird.
Yes.
And
that's why I chose it. That's what it is. So yes, let me tell you the full tea. So I was writing professionally, writing about what I do for work, which is in technology and change management. And then all of a sudden I got bit by the fiction bug.
Oh, Lord.
I know. And then I have grown children. And they were quite embarrassed by some of the things that were coming out of my mind and onto my stories. And they said, Mom, we do not need to read this from you. And so I decided, you know what, in order for me to be fully free, to fully express all it is that I want to express in my writing, I need a pen name. So many very famous people had pen names. Did not write under their own their original names. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
I chose number 1 Scarlet Ibis Kyna because it is the national bird of Trinidad and Tobago. I chose it because Trinidad runs deep within my Caribbean belly, as David Rudder would say, and I wanted that connection. I also chose James as my last name, which is my
Yes.
maiden name and my mother's last name. And my mother has roots in Tobago, in Trinidad, in St. Vincent, all over the place. But I
Wow.
wanted to honor her love for me
Beautiful.
as well. So that's where I came up with the name.
Do you know? So, why I said it is such a beautiful bird and a name to choose. When I went to the bird sanctuary some years ago with my family, I didn't notice that, but we always in school they always tell you to color the scarlet ibis red, but there was some scarlet ibis that are pink, and
That is
after
true.
you find out that they usually lose their color after they give birth. So
Yeah.
that is
Oh,
transformational. That is just something, So sometimes when I see, as a teacher, as I told I'm a teacher, sometimes when I see the children struggling, Miss, I have no red. I say you could put pink. They watch me red. They're like, Miss, no. I say, yes, honey, we can. And then the babies, I think the babies are actually a darker color. They're like
a
black,
brown.
brown,
Yes.
right? So just
Yes.
the name and given the background of what you are doing, it says so much more now because
I
now
love Kina,
you
you
are used.
teaching during the day and at night too, because I just learned about that. So thank you. But that is beautiful
Yeah,
about
so
the
you understand,
transformation.
and that's what your books are doing. So it's gone from when you did the book tour, the hardcover, that could be the red. Then you get the
Hmm.
pink on the online. Then you integrate the AI.
Hmm.
We're going in there.
All
But I
over, all
just
over.
want
Let's
to
do it.
make
Let's do it.
exciting. All those who are online now, most of the people I would expect would be either camera shy, as they say. I mean, I want to call in because somebody might know their voice or whatever. We're giving them the platform here where they can also share a good story. And why we want to do that, we are aware that right now there's a lot of fact and fiction running in the streets about our situation.
Yes.
But let us go back, as the man said, bring back the old time days. We want to bring back the old time days through storytelling. So let the interview begin. All of that was just me rambling, right? We want to start with you, Scarlett, right? What is a good memory, right? But in one moment you were living up, well, you're living abroad now, and at some point you had to be living in Trinidad. But what is something that you carry with you as a Trinbagonian, no matter where you go, something that holds dear to you?
I will tell you, I just thought of this memory. So thank you for asking. My grandmother and I, when I was later on in my high school years, so I was in Trinidad until I was 21, yeah? But in my high school, Sour South, yeah, secondary, I remember there were days that we didn't have enough. We did not have enough. And those were cricks and condensed milk days. And I think that showing children as they're growing that there will be days when you don't have and you make do with what you have. And then there will be other days when you can have more. But that memory of my grandmother and I sitting in the kitchen and all we had was cricks and condensed milk, beautiful memory for me.
But
Hope,
Scarlett,
resilience, just
yes.
community, beautiful.
But Scarlett, that story has even more value now. You know how much is for cricks? You know how much is for condensed milk? Those are luxurious items
No,
now.
honey,
I'm
no.
telling you. I am telling you. But I know where we getting there. It's not Cricks anymore. It's Mr. Cricks. The vital supply.
So
So
it might
you
be
have
something else.
expensive memory. Look, somebody's saying it here. Cricks expensive. Yes. That
It
is
wasn't
that is
expensive back
super.
in my day.
Yeah, but what I will say, what you are saying here now is very relevant because just before this episode, I was sharing with my, and I like to call them my tribe because those are people who think like me and follow me, right? I don't like to say follower, my tribe. We are all together. And I
Yes.
told them, I said, look at your schedule, look at what you have right now, and it's okay to not have to please the eye. It's okay to do it out for now. And then, as you
Mhm.
say, there will be days when you will have more. So your memory was nice, girl.
Thank you.
Well, you see, that's how we doing it, people. You just have to share a simple memory via the phone. You could call in online. You could call in here live, and you could also leave a comment. I'll be checking the Facebook page as well. I know sometimes people come in right before we end the episode, and we're not greedy with it, guys. We have just about an hour. I'm going on the Facebook page as we speak to see. We usually have a very loyal follower. He's not even on yet because a lot of, oh, what's going on there? Scarlett, are you there?
Yes, here I am.
Right. So as the show goes on, we give people the opportunity to drop their memories. If they are, the Facebook name is Gaelle the Caribbean, Gayelle, Gaelle the Caribbean, Gayelle. Could you type that in for me, someone, one of the people in the comments? Gaelle, Gayelle, the Caribbean. Gaelle the Caribbean. Yeah, someone you could type it in for me if you can. If not, I will do it through on not the Caribbean. T-H-A. Gaelle, perfecto. T-H-A, Caribbean. So someone was trying to help me there with the name. Go to Gaelle the Caribbean page on Facebook, and you can leave your comment there in Spanish or in English. Puedes dejar un comentario en español o en inglés sobre un recordatorio, a memory, una memoria favorita de tu vida.
I want to hear from. Look, I am challenging Amina tonight because Amina is one of my writer sister goddesses
Oh, nice.
from
Wow.
Trinidad.
What's the
Poetess.
description?
I would love to hear from her.
The
Put it on
Caribbean.
a spot, Yes. But Amina is amazing, amazing. She's a poet and she helps other writers too. Such an amazing individual. Yeah?
I want to drop a nice compliment to you, Scarlett. I love how you speak. You would make an excellent teacher. You're so calm. No, we need people like you in the school system. You're well articulated. You're smiling when you're talking. You say sometimes don't be talking, even over the phone. If you're smiling, people could hear it. And you just bring in a life to this whole life. I'm really, really enjoying this. But back to our questions, because we want everybody to know about Scarlett, because Scarlett was right here in Trinidad this month, right? She's moving again. I see that you have another one, the last lap, as they say. I love it. You're keeping that Trinidadian roots. So take us back a little bit before the awards, before the books. Who was Scarlett in Trinidad? You were recent, yeah.
Oh, I have a lot of my school friends joining now, They might tell me the truth. They might tell me the truth. They might tell me the truth. I think I was always, well, in primary school, my teachers always said that I was very verbose. The first time a teacher put that on my report card, I had to go look it up because I didn't know what it meant, right? Talkative, very talkative. When I went to secondary school, though, I feel my nose was always in a book. My grandmother was so strict. I didn't go to a lot of the events and different outings that happened with school. But I remember being in the Sauer Library when it was on Second Street there, all the time, Mills and Boons, Harlequin romance, French romance, all kinds of things. I know. But I hung out with a certain group of friends. I remember Carl Phillips, Joanne Charles, Alicia George. We would all hang out. But I had a very tight-knit group of friends that we hung out with. But I think I was very boring. In secondary school, very academic is what I would say.
Okay.
If anybody else wants to disagree, but that's how I feel it was. Yes.
You were sharing your journey as a child going to the library, and I'm saying here as a teacher, you know how many children do not like to go to the library, or how many children do not like to read. It is rather alarming because they don't just read for entertainment, but you need to read to know.
Yes.
So I was
Yes.
one of those, Scarlett. I was one of those, and I was a little nerd, but I didn't like to. But
Clutch my pearls.
but you know how I got to love reading? I
Yeah,
started to
tell me.
choose things that I loved. I love history. I love to know about things that happened before. So I used to tell myself, I don't want to read something and have to know what's next. I want the complete story. So I used to
Yes.
read textbooks over and over. Yeah, I started off with textbook. And then I would get like when my teacher saw I was really enjoying the books, he bought a book for me, and I still have it called The Rape of Paradise.
Oh.
That book changed my whole life. I can't unread it, but it was just a beautifully written book, but very graphic. And we wouldn't go there, but it's just nice to hear a different perspective because, as they say, everything is a perspective. And you
Yes.
will know that.
Yes.
You have it at all,
Yes.
the ego expressing itself on paper that people will be able to read in Spanish as well. And you were recently in Trinidad. We will be showing a little clip of that in our next break. And this was for your book tour, right? Scarlet Yearning book tour. But could you give the audience a little highlight of the journey as well as which books were highlighted?
Sure,
Because you have
sure.
more than
So,
one book.
I think this October was the third time I was actually in Trinidad this year. But when I came in April, I wanted Scarlet Birthright. I wanted Scarlet Birthright to be
Right.
in Trinidad stores because that story is rooted in Trinidad, is rooted in my own story. And so I reached out to Scribbles and Quills in Chaguanas and also
Right.
Paper Base Bookstore in Port of Spain, St. Clair. And both of them agreed to put my book in their stores. But both
Beautiful.
of them asked me when I can do a signing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. And so at that time, I thought, well, you know what? I can probably come back in October. So I planted the seed in my head that I'll be back in October to do
nice.
that book signing because I didn't have enough time when I first came in April. So in the meantime, I saw people like Celeste Mohammed, also Trinidadian, and also Latoya Roberts, who Trinidad and Tobago originally from Tobago. I saw them also doing book launches and book tours,
Yes,
etc. And so
yes,
I said, you know what? I need to really make a point of making this a significant event. So I started working with both Scribbles and Quills and Paper Base. And at first it was just those two steps. But let me tell you, Kina, the magic of social media. Okay?
yes.
I saw Arlene Holman from Chapters and Chats posted this event where you would read and then you would chat about the books after. And I said, well, I'll be there. I would like to join, but I wanted to join as a participant. Yes. And so I reached out to her and she says, well, since you're coming, we can have the chat with you. And
Wow,
just like that, the third event was there.
beautiful.
The last part of it was I spoke with Latoya Roberts again. She recently released her book, The Tide Reclaims, yeah.
Yes,
And
yes,
I saw she was in Tobago, and I said I want to go to Tobago, and so she, along with another writer, oh my gosh, I should have written down her name. Anyway, I'll tell you in a little bit after the next break. But
no
she
problem.
suggested Sure Things in Tobago, as well as and Latoya suggested Heritage Haven in the Esplanade. And so I said, I'm going to make a trip to Tobago as well.
Is that
And
the
that's
name?
how the
Mark for
tour was born.
Romance, McCoy?
The name of the store is Heritage Haven and the Esplanade in Tobago, in Scarborough, and then Sure Things and Crafts, Books and Crafts is in Lambo, not too far away
Okay.
either. Yes.
All
And
right,
both of
nice.
them agreed. And I'll tell you what, Heritage Haven has the biggest collection of children's books that represent who we look like, right? As
Ooh,
Trinidadians, as people of color, brown and black. It was stunning, beautiful store,
wow.
right? And then Sure Things, you have to make it a point to go eat there and then buy the books because The Will to Fly, I think, is the name of the book for the Tippecanoe author. Wendy, oh my gosh. I'm gonna look it up for a minute. The Will to Fly. I think it's The Will to Fly or The Courage to Fly, something like that. And her first name is definitely Wendy. I'll get the last name. But yes, that is how the talk all came together. So I bookended it with the two stores that I went to, the two bookshops I went to first. Scribbles and Quails first. Paper Base was the last lap. And in between, I went to Tobago and also went to the Chapters and Chats event. Yes?
You were busy.
Yes. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Someone had to hear The Courage to Fly by Wendy
Yorching. Yes. She was the one that told me about Sure Things, that I should definitely go there. And her book is there as well.
Right. So we want to take a break and then share one of your videos from the tour.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about the move from Trinidad to United States, because you said you left here around 21. That's pretty young. That's my age. I'm just joking.
Of course. Yes. You're not a day over.
Young.
I know.
Darling, forever young.
Mama
so
guy.
Take a break, and we will be showing your clip when we come back, and we continue with this. So, darlings,
thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be taking a break. Stand by.
Hey, how are you going? Let me tell you something. Uncle Errol here reminding you about fantasy. You don't know it's fantasy? Come on now. There's Handsome Son show, a big comedy show at Sapa on Saturday the 1st of November from 5:30 p.m. And guess what? I will be there. So I'm looking forward to making all you laugh and to all you making me laugh, because I love to laugh too, you know. Saturday the 1st November, 5:30, Sapa, Son, Handsome Son and the gang. Don't miss it.
Books, the picture, the whole enchilada.
I'll post it to TikTok.
Right. So we are back on, and we are here with award-winning author from Trinidad and Tobago, well, Trinidad specifically, Scarlet Ibis James, and we are talking about her journey from Trinidad to the United States. Now, I always like to ask people, now we always have a choice where we go. Why the United States? Why did you choose to go?
So, what you will discover when you read Scarlet Birthright is that my father lived in the United States all my life.
Okay.
He left for the United States. My actual father left for the United States. I was pretty young, maybe less than 2, and he never came back. And when I was probably 19 is where he started the paperwork for me to come over and join him. And so there was never a thought about going anywhere else. I was always going to join him at that point. Yeah. And so that's why the United States. However, I will tell you another story. When I was 5 years old, I went to visit him in New York. We flew into JFK. And I remember standing in Manhattan amongst all those skyscrapers, little girl. And what I remember is my father rolling up a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper right now. Rolling up a piece of paper, putting it in his mouth and blowing. It was winter time, eh? And you saw the smoke coming out. It wasn't a cigarette, but that blew my mind. And then he handed it to me, and I was able to blow. And you saw the smoke from the cold, because the warm breath coming out would cause it to come out as a mist, I said at that moment, this is where I need to live. I don't know why, but that is what I said. And so as a very old, and I would say a very rude teenager, when my grandmother got me upset, I would tell her, as soon as I turn 15, because that's the time we used to graduate from O levels, yeah? As soon as I turn 15, I'm going to leave you and go to live in New York City. That is what I told her. And she said, fine, go.
Of
But
course.
when I was 21, I did move to be with him. Ended up in Brooklyn, New York. But then I discovered how expensive New York was. But that was the reason. That is the reason. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, because well, most, if not all of my interviews are with migrants or immigrants. So we always want to know the decision to move, because if you look at our Venezuelan neighbors, they chose Trinidad because of the proximity. But then there were some that were able to migrate to other parts of the Caribbean as well as other parts of the world. Right. So that moving was really nice. It's amazing how you could remember so well, so vividly, one experience that just clicked inside of you. This is where I need to be. So what Caribbean values or traditions people can expect in your writings? What kind of, what can we expect in these stories? Traditions, Caribbean words, maybe, some of these phrases.
Lots of Caribbean words. Actually,
Ones you want us to look for.
in one of my books, I actually have a glossary at the back for those who may not be from Trinidad, so that they can keep track. But it has every word: Lord, Father, Mama, Guy, doubles, pigeon peas, rainy season. Everything. It has everything in there. I try to lace most of my stories with things of Trinidad. Trinidad always touches a lot of my writing. So now Scarlet Yearnings, which is my first book, is a little bit different. And I would say that most of the stories in there have more to do with desires of the heart. It is not spicy. I did a reading, however, and the audience in Trinidad is slight pepper. It's just slights. But for the most part, it's about real messy love. And it starts off with a little girl desiring the love of her father. It goes into another woman who is missing her father, who loved her and who she's looking for in all these men for the love of a father, right? It has a tangled relationship between husbands and wives. So it's all kinds of love and that desire for love that I think is within all of us. And I think that one has a very wide range of people from different countries, including South America, not Venezuela specifically. In that one, I think I have people from Bahia, I have people from India. Like, it has a very wide mix, because that's also, I think, a part of what I take from Trinidad. Trinidad has such every creed and race. Well, every creed and race finds an equal place in my books.
Correct. You said it and I heard it in my head and you said it again. Correct. So I guess what you would carry with you is the warmth of the Caribbean life, the diversity, and then you put in, I love how you're using your words. It's almost as if, anybody who read the book and they're from Trinidad, they could pick up all these things and it feel like home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like home, and I love that. So therefore, every tale that you have given us here holds some sort of dual identity, because now you're bringing in the Caribbean warmth to I have to go back to the blue the colder parts of the world. And then you talk about the dynamic in cost of living. And I love how you mentioned your story when you told your granny, listen, when I reach this age, I go in. We have a lot of young children doing that. Mommy, when I reach 18, I'm gone,
Gone.
I don't know if you want to rent now. Rent too high.
No, I stayed.
Stay with mommy now. Take mommy, I'm moving to the back room. That's a start again. We're not going any further than that. So tell us, can you describe a time where you felt that dual identity of being a Caribbean woman in America?
All the time. I think all the time. I carry it with me. And I think, so whenever I leave Trinidad and come back, the accent is very present. At certain points, I remember just before I left, actually, this time, I was doing a presentation at work, and a lot of times people tell me they can't tell that I'm from the Caribbean. They can't tell, but other Caribbean people can tell. And in the in between when I was presenting, one woman came up to me and she said, I think I detect an accent.
Yeah, there was that. But
And
literally, it's hard to pinpoint. But let me hear
sometimes,
how did you figure it out?
especially when I talk in proper, I talk proper. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think, so I told her at that point, I said, I'm from Trinidad. And of course, she was from the Caribbean as well. She was actually from Haiti.
Right.
But we
Okay.
could feel that connection. So I think, Kina, that I take it with me. I cannot not take it with me. It's there with me constantly. And I think that the challenges come in when you're living in a place where you see things happening, especially what's happening now with Venezuela, and that tug becomes really challenging, I think, to think about. And especially when you're in conversation with people here, I always tell people, you never know the full story. I think that a lot of times when I'm in Trinidad, I hear a different version of things than if I'm watching CNN and hearing them talk about what's happening. And
Correct.
sometimes I think, what are they talking about? Like, where is that happening?
That's happening a lot lately.
I know, because, and then it becomes so apparent that the news is definitely things that are fed to Americans. Like it is fed to Americans. And only when you go outside, which is why I think travel is so important, even
Yeah.
if it's to other islands or even if it's to, other continents, it's important because then you get to see a fuller view and truly
Correct.
understand people. Yeah.
Correct. So I would have asked you the question about how you write and making it something more bold conversation with a good friend. Because as you said, when you were started to talk to each other, and they were like, "Mommy, tone it down. Maybe give it to somebody, give it an offering." And know it has been a very good offering because it brought you here to Scarlet Ibis, James, right? But I kind of scanned through the material and I got that you explore a lot of generational patterns and breaking cycles. I want you to share with us, which cycles did you personally have to break when you had to write your truth?
Yes. So even before the truth, I would tell you this. When I think about my family on my father's side and on my mother's side, the cycle that happened is that most of the children were raised by their grandparents
Okay,
or by people who weren't their parents.
right.
The parents went and did something else or had to go and do something else. And that's one of the themes that I explore. But when I really thought about it, I was not raised with my parents. My mother was not raised with her parents. My grandmother was not raised with her parents.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, my sister before me raised her child. I raised my child.
Wow.
And I
Okay.
remembered when, um, my younger son was born. My mother said, "Oh my God, leave him with me now." I said, "Absolutely not."
You're breaking that cycle. I'm
I
taking care of
am
mine.
raising my child. I am raising my child for better or for worse. Because I think like that is not to say that I didn't have an amazing childhood.
Correct.
I did.
Understand.
I had two parents. So I had my grandmother and my grandfather. So I don't see myself
Right.
as growing up in a
You
broken home and
correct.
all those like no misnomers that people use. You
Correct.
can be fully formed in a fully input, a full
Yes.
home, even if it's not
Amen.
your biological mother and your biological father. Yeah.
Correct. And
So
I
I
think
think
at
that
that
that's the cycle that I broke.
and I think at that age they tend to have a lot more understanding and patience, things that
Yes.
parents may not always come with. And I
My
feel like
aunt
it's
told me all the
yeah.
time, I got away with murder.
Oh, shucks. Yes, no, I see it for myself because right now my son is watching me on television at home and with his granny. And I always watch their dynamic and I tell myself, but she used to buff me for that.
I
I
know.
used to get licks for that. How come he could get away with that? And now they have all the patience in the world to say, no, don't do that. But when it was me, oh, you could do that. Caribbean woman, you know. So I think that what you mentioned there, sad to say, in some cases, we have lots of. I don't want to use the word broken because it doesn't matter where you come
Yeah.
from. Still make. I came from a single parent extended family. I know that's
Yes.
so crazy because my mother was there with us. Our father was distant, but our granny, auntie, everybody was involved because I
Everybody
could
took care of you.
remember. This is not a good memory, but I could remember doing
Mm.
something wrong and getting reprimanded before mommy reach home, and then mommy will give me licks because my auntie gets a licks before that.
That is
That is
exactly right.
so
That's
yes.
the best childhood. That's the best
Oh,
childhood.
no. My best childhood, if I were to share my story, and no, there's no nepotism here, was when I got to go to everybody's house to get a meal. My mother, no, she was the best baker. Mommy could
Mm.
bake a cake from scratch, and all them other bakeries could shut down. And what I used to do, no, Sunday was my day because Sunday food is just tastes the best.
Different.
My
Different.
grandmother used to go all out. She making chicken foot sauce, pig foot sauce. She making the callaloo. She making Chinese style, everything you could think of. It's like Christmas every Sunday in my grandmother's house. So if mommy come and she make a little rice, chicken, something, I be like, I will come back for that if I feel hungry later. But I buy my auntie house. And then when I finish by my auntie house, I come back home, I rest myself because you had to give it to me time.
That's
Then I go to
right.
my grandmother's house and I bring it home food too, you know. I love that. So I was always the healthy looking child. I
Mm-hmm.
was
Me
both
too.
ways. My brother and sister, they would stay with what mommy gave them, and they were slimmer than I was. But now we all the same size, so I guess
You
we
were
go in
very happy.
everybody.
You were very happy. A happy child.
Yes, yes. So I noticed that you do a lot of, and I want to say novels or books on the theme of love and different
Mm.
types of love. Love shows up differently in island culture versus American culture. This is something I've noticed. But I want to know from you, what have you captured in the contrast between Caribbean love and American love, if any?
I would tell you that I feel as though, from my point of view, I think that love begins with the individual, whether it's in the Caribbean aspect and how that manifests or anywhere else.
Okay.
I think people individually bring into a relationship either what they want and need or what they expect
Yeah.
based on perhaps their history. And I think that's the same. The thing about some, especially Caribbean men, love them. However, I think
Comma.
I think that sometimes they are also looking for that spark, and if they're not getting it in one place, they might go to another place and another place. But I honestly, Kina, for all my stories, what I try to show is that the individual, because I'm also a believer in that I cannot change the other person. I
Correct.
cannot change the other person. So whoever is the protagonist in my story, from that point of view that I'm writing, I'm trying to show what is it this person needs or expect. And when they don't get it, what do they do?
Ooh, yes. I love how you explain that,
Hmm.
It's not an excuse, but it helps us understand our Caribbean men. Because I would say to be a man in any society, I told God if I have to come back to another life, bring me back as a woman. Because to be
Period.
a man in society is very hard. A lot of pressure is placed on you as a male from birth. And we
Hmm.
don't, in the Caribbean, most times we don't acknowledge that they have soft feelings as well. They
And they
want to
don't
be
even acknowledge it themselves. Yes,
correct.
they
So they
had.
toughen up. And like you said,
Yes.
I love how you explain it. Is so we might look at it as, oh God, you always horning or something like that. Use a training word here. But then it could
Hmm.
be his search for comfort, his search for acknowledgement because something.
Validation,
Correct.
everything.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
I love how you give it such grace. Yeah.
But that's a big theme in all my writing as well.
Right.
I think that we need to acknowledge that nobody is perfect.
Correct.
Acknowledge, and at any point in time, we respond in the best way we can, period.
Yes.
Right? And there may be a lot of things happening, but we're in charge of our own selves. But we
Correct.
have to give
Correct.
the other person grace. And that's what actually came out a lot in my writing, because I had a lot of anger towards my father, especially as a child looking up to this supposed adult. But in the writing of these stories, I realized he was a kid himself when he had to make so many decisions. And
So
so
far.
really, and now as an adult, I'm able to look back at a different and look at the whole thing differently when I put myself into his shoes, you know?
And I guess that helps you. You see, writing is definitely a therapy. Now, for those who are watching on all our platforms, Facebook Live, TikTok Live, and also the national regional television of Flow TV, Kyle the Caribbean channel, they would not have known that most of your books, yes, written with love in different parts, generational stories, you have decided to offer your books in a different language.
Yes.
Now we have Patois, we have our Bacchanal language, Trinity Creole, but you chose Spanish.
Yes.
Why Spanish? And give us a little detail as to how you the process in which you translated the book into Spanish, so that maybe other writers who are watching or who will watch this live on YouTube later when we upload it, what advice can you give them if they want to go down that route as well, using maybe a book from the past and giving it a fresh look in a different language?
Oh,
Suggest that,
yes.
Jamie?
Certainly. So I tune into the journeys of a lot of different writers. And I watch there are certain writer channels that I watch on YouTube. And one of them are these two people, I think it's Indie Writers Club
Okay.
on YouTube. And they talk a lot about translating their books. Yeah. And they do a lot of different languages, usually French, Dane, like all kinds of languages. But look, the one thing that I will tell anybody who wants to be a writer, from the time you put an offering out there, people are going to come out of the woodwork to take your money, period. Like
Wow.
everybody and their brother is going to try to get you. I can market your book. I can translate your book. I could do it's constant. You just have to block them out, period. Right.
Correct.
But the way, or you pay an arm and a leg to have somebody translate. And as an independently published author, I don't have the money for that, you know? And so with the Indie Writers Club, they talk about this AI software called Shadow Scribe. And with
Oh,
Shadow Scribe, they're able to put their books in and choose a language, and it translates. It actually edits it itself. And then you can almost have you can then take it, have a human read it and confirm
wow.
that it's accurate. But
Could you
in
repeat the
many,
name of the
yeah,
app?
Shadow
Got it.
Scribe AI, something like that.
Yeah, I hope they pay you for
But
this advertising.
I should, right. But they did all these books and they really thought that, and they already had a following and everything. I think
Okay.
it's Trevor. So I think so, Amina. And so I thought, well, let me give it a try.
Wow.
And so I
Yeah.
did it. I put one of my books in. I didn't do the one that has a lot of Trini dialect. So
Okay.
I felt, because one of the things now, and also people have to know, it's not a click and you're done. You actually have to
Okay.
go in, you have to select words that you don't want translated, you have to talk about the
Wow.
nuance of different things. So it is a lot of work
I
that
would
you need to
expect
do,
that.
right?
Beautiful.
People, a lot of times people be, oh, it's AI doing everything. No, you still have to put in some work, but it's not
Correct.
a lot, right? So I did it and then I made it available. And with Amazon now, Amazon with certain titles, they are allowing you to just do also an audio book. using AI as well. And so that's what I did. I chose Spanish for two reasons. Number one, I felt that many of the stories in Scarlet Yearnings include people who were from South America and the Caribbean. And so I was not writing necessarily for somebody in Spain. I was writing for people who are living in our sort of side of the universe. Also, I'm aware that in Trinidad, there are many Spanish speakers now because the name. Oh, yes.
Yes, somebody's
I love
decoding it
Amina.
for them.
Don't you just love Amina?
Yes. I want Amina to share one of her memories
She
too.
needs to share one of her memories. But really, Kina, the reason I chose Spanish is because the characters in my stories are from I would say indigenous places who speak
Nice.
Spanish and also, hearkening back to the Venezuelans. These books are for Trinidad and Tobago, including the Venezuelans among us as well.
It was
Yeah.
a perfect fit to give it the Spanish language, more or less. And I love that. I love how you zoned in to, because as you said, this app gave you the option of other languages. And you took into
Yes.
consideration your target market. You took into consideration the content that you had. You're very delicate with this project. I love it. Very well thought out.
Mama Guy will
Amazing.
get you everywhere, Kina.
Oh,
I
God,
love it.
no. I don't have no stripper taking it from my head as I feel it in my heart. See, mama guy, So,
I love
with
it.
all the mamagisms that I've given you this evening, I love how we are able to recognize AI as a tool. Because a lot of people are getting to a point right now where they are turning their heads away from anything that say AI. They don't believe it and all of that. But it is a tool. You can use it to enhance your work. And I love how you mentioned that when you did the work, it wasn't one click. It
Was
wasn't.
not one.
You have to, and that is true. That is so, so true. Because you have to go in there and say, listen, this is a Trinidadian one, do not change this. And that
Right.
don't take,
And it was
listen,
a
and you know
lot.
that's a lot of time. That's
Yes.
a lot of sifting. Because the time of you writing a novel, editing it already, and now having to do that with another language in mind, that's a lot of work. So what we are getting here as a prize,
It's
that I will leave it
blood, sweat, and
open.
tears.
Yes, yes. I'm
And
going to leave.
AI.
I'm leaving this post. Well, after I upload it, I'm leaving it open because we want it transparent. They can also comment under the video when it's uploaded to YouTube. So it's not a tonight alone. Please, I just
Yes.
want to let you know because it's an ebook. You can get it tonight. You can comment and get it tomorrow, and we will choose. We will choose these stories, yeah, because we want a good memory, a good memory. That's all we want. We want light in everything here. But I want to know, Scarlett, for me, right? When I started to write, as I said, it was therapy for me. So it was natural just to as you say, vomit on paper. But how did you do it? Did it start from a memory? Did it start from a character that you created for yourself? Did it start as a feeling? Was it therapy? How did you start writing? Besides when your children talk, how did you start? Like, what was the first word? What was the first? I want to go back.
You want to go back to the beginning? To the beginning?
Yes.
Look, here's the thing. For a lot of my writings at the beginning, I was prompted. So I wrote on a platform called medium.com,
Okay.
and
Oh, yes, I know that.
they have publications, and the publications would every month give you a word, a phrase, a picture. So many of my stories were, when I see it, I don't respond to all of them,
Right.
but when I see one and it hits me, I have a story for that. I write a story about it. And
Beautiful.
then a particular medium publication called Microcosm, they not only give you the prompts, but they give you almost instruction on how to write well. And so for every prompt, they may have some particular type of writing that they want you to try, right? It could be watch your opening. What is your opening sentence? What does that feel like? And for a lot of those things. So I would tell you that the very first story in Scarlet Yearnings was based on a prompt. The prompt was actually yellow. I changed it to red. But it's amazing how, and you know what is so amazing
One
is that,
color.
I think that you would notice as a teacher, when you give a task or an assignment and you say, okay, here is the sentence, write something about it. If you have a class of 21 children, you get 21 different responses,
Correct.
right? Which is amazing. So what rose up for me was the first time she met her father. And
Mm.
it was all around this idea that her favorite color was red. And she got a hibiscus for him. She was wearing red. Like she was just so enamored with this thing. And
And red
then
is the color of
when
love.
and then when he rejected her, and this is why I made it the first story in that book, because I didn't want people to go in thinking it was a soppy love story
Right.
thing. Yes, I
Okay.
wanted people to understand the love and desire that I'm talking about is deep. And so this was a little girl desiring her father. And when he left with his wife and child in a red car, that was it. And that is
Ooh,
where the color came in his
wow.
red car. And that's when she learned. So that's how it started. But your question, I didn't expect a story about my father to rise up, but it did.
Mm.
And that's why I think it's a lot of things that come out when you're writing. It's almost like a channel that you open up when you start to write. Actually, in school is when I started writing in my diary. At that time, they call it journaling now. But that's when I started, because I think that our teachers at South, right, secondary, they were amazing. I had the best high school experience, but they made us do these diaries, and I think it opens up channels. Kina,
Yes. I
same,
love how
same
you
like your
describe it.
dreams. I feel that writing is a way that the spirit
You are
works through you.
so correct. And you know what? You just answered my other question because as a writer myself, not published or not award winning yet, but I always say to write, I usually have to be prompted by a feeling, and it's almost like a ritual. They might have music in the background, it has to be dead still, and I just write. When you start to write, it flows. But before that, sometimes you might have what they call writer's block, and then you block. But when that floodgates
When the dam
open,
open,
woo,
hmm,
my
and
God.
you never know what's going to come, so you have to be open to it
Correct.
too. Yes,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so I think that that's where it started in Scarlet Yearnings, and it wasn't until Scarlet Birthright that the real, I would say, root work began. You know,
Yes.
where I realized that there were things that were blocking me that I wasn't even aware of. And I think that that's really important for people to recognize that coming out of this experience, it may not be easy, but I think it's important. At least it was
Correct.
important for
I love
me.
it. Yes, it may not be easy, but it's important. And you know, Scarlett, it's so unfortunate that the show is just about 1 hour long. But I would
Yes.
love, let me tell you, no. I have a lot of interviews that I want to do a part two with to get the follow up because I want to know
Yes.
a little bit more what happened in the last lap. You know, and I love that name. So far, guys, for those who are tuning in right now, we have with us award-winning author Scarlet Ibis James. She's Trinidadian-born, and she has taken her experience, her desires, her thoughts, everything, and put it in books for us. Now, we didn't have an opportunity because I know some of you all usually join in late, an opportunity for you to call in live or to make a comment because maybe you're all shy, and that's fine. But when we upload this video, you can leave your comments under the YouTube video because I'm still building the YouTube page. I can't keep up with all the platforms, girl. You know how it
It's
is.
a lot.
It's a lot. You can also leave a comment. I would grab a piece of this episode and repost on TikTok. You can leave a comment underneath as well. And feel free. The YouTube page is Aqui Con Kyna, AQUICONKYNA. I also want to say hi to Chris Garcia. Thank you for stopping by. One of our locals again, touching up the world. And Scarlett, I must say, it was really refreshing to be here with you. And it is natural because we didn't have such an in-depth conversation. This is why I love it. I feel like Oprah sometimes, nobody prepared for what's coming. But yes,
I had my tissue ready, I had my tissue ready.
Oh gosh, no, don't do that. Don't do that to us. Because we know the work that you've put in to your work, right? We know that, and we see the passion in just a little bit of your comments. We see the passion behind it. And why not want to be part of that? Why not want to know how you saw your life here in the Caribbean? I think it is most interesting. You left our palates waiting for more. So that is good. You always say, always leave before the party done. So this is good. You got us at a point here where we want more. And she is available via TikTok as well. You can follow her on her social media platforms. If you are in New York, the United States, close to her, you can follow her. No, don't be a stalker, but you can follow her and go there willingly and contribute to her growth. And yes, as the lady said, the party ain't done yet. But the party have to finish a little bit for us here on live television. And Scarlett, I just want to thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, giving us these. I love when I end a show and my cheeks are hurting. That means I was smiling a lot. Made that happen. And it felt like if I was just talking to a friend.
You made it so easy, Kyna. I love this. I love this. I love this. I started looking back at all your content. You are so genuine and real. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that feedback on the live television. Endorsement there. So we will continue this chat. And please, if you can, make yourself available. And we could continue this on TikTok on an odd day when you have time.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes, we can do that. So for television purposes, we have to cut off tonight at this time. But she will be back.
I will be back.
She will be back, and go follow her. Look at her content. This lady, she's really doing her work here to preserve the truth and good perspective of life down here and showing us love in a different angle. I love that.
Thank you.
Darling, thank you so much for those tuning in on Guile the Caribbean.
Right, so I hope it took any sunshine here. Some heavy topics where you can come and leave your comments. Let's talk about what's going on here in Trinidad and Tobago and around us. But for tonight, we're signing out with a smile. Thank you so much, Scarlet Ibis James. Thank you so much, everyone. Gracias por sintonizar. Como siempre, todos los lunes, estamos aquí en vivo en el canal Guile the Caribbean. Ya tú sabes que te quiero. Chao, pues. Adiós.